congratulations to all the retirees. The decision to retire is a big step. And let me guarantee you, the best is yet to come. Personal experience. To say it is wonderful is an understatement. To finally have time for your friends, family, travel, and hobbies is a gift beyond compare. You have all given much, and now it is your time for yourself. So enjoy. Well, Connie, let's go back in time. I first met Connie in Tennessee on the college campus of Lincoln Memorial University. So I have first-hand knowledge of some very interesting tales and adventures that occurred during the college days. Connie loves a good dare. She enjoys partying, as you have all found out, and she loves living on the edge. So my first picture shows Connie on the edge of a railroad trestle in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, painting sorority letters. And you know what? They weren't her sorority letters, they were mine. She thought, the theory was, if she put mine up there, then anyone wouldn't think that she did it. Obviously me. Senior moment. Our second picture shows Connie posing on her motorcycle on the edge of an airport runway. The small gun in her hand is actually a mace pellet pistol used for protection against dogs when they're chasing our bicycles. When I retired, Connie had a picture of the Volkswagen and the Gaboops blown up. The picture was actually taken on the front sidewalk of the girls' dorm and published in the college yearbook. The picture is now hanging in my condo, where Connie admires it every time she comes by to visit. So Connie, I have something for you to remember these memories. I had this little item made up for you, especially, and you can wear it when you're working in your garden. This is the Gaboops. In case you don't know, the Gaboops was a little kind of clique that we made up for ourselves when we would ride around partying in my Volkswagen. And of course, the good, the bad, and the ugly, there was only 3 of them, and we had to have a 4th person. So we had a good, and that was Ruth. The B was bad. No, I'm sorry, I was good. Ruth was bad, and Twig was ugly, and the one we had to make up and add on the end was the P, and that was Connie, and of course, that meant perfect. The Gaboops had many adventures, and here's one you just really won't believe. The 4 of us were out partying one afternoon and needed to return to campus by 6 p.m. On the way back, the gas line to the accelerator broke on the Volkswagen. We were in big trouble because it was hell night for both our sororities. All of us had big roles in evening activities, and it was not very smart not to be there. Please note, Ruth and I were in one sorority, and Connie and Twig were in another. And it definitely was taboo for us to even be friends, much less late for Hell Night. Twig came up with an idea that she would sit on the back bumper, and on command, every time we needed to move the Volkswagen, she would push down on the accelerator with her hand. Remember, the engine was in the back, and this continued on for 10 miles, and yes, we were late for Hell Night. So Connie, here's your own copy of Twig posing on the back of the bumper. When Connie and I weren't traveling around in my Volkswagen, we were out riding our motorcycles. One day we saw this really great Honda Dream for sale. Connie and I decided we were going to buy it. But like most college students, we didn't have any money. So we decided that we would go to a bank and get a loan. Well, they wouldn't give us a loan unless we had a cosigner. We were 21, but we didn't really have regular jobs. We were just students. So we went to a friend. She was another college friend on campus, and we asked her what we should do. And she said, well, ask my dad. Well, Mr. Duncan was a local businessman, and he agreed to sign for us. At this time, Connie and I were really working part-time at the school dining hall, and we asked for additional hours. They gave us pots and pans duty in the evening, and when you know, the first night, we ended up scrubbing 180 pizza pie sheets. Later on, we finally paid off the motorcycle and enjoyed our new purchase. And here is Connie posing on that new motorcycle.
Let's go, girls. Come on.
One night, while we were studying for finals, Connie and I decided to play a joke on the girls' dorm. There were 4 bathrooms, 1 on each floor in the dorm. We found ourselves a bucket and proceeded to collect 1 faucet knob from each sink, tub, and shower in the dorm. No one in the building could wash, shower, or bathe without an all-hot or an all-hot cold experience. Now, obviously, Connie and I both took our showers first. That afternoon, the head dorm mother called Connie and I into the office. Oh dear, big trouble. Kids got expelled for less than that. At that time, Connie and I were outstanding members of the dorm council. Well, Mrs. Pangle, she wanted to ask for our help. She said, you have to help me find out who did this terrible thing. Well, Connie and I could hardly keep a straight face when she was asking for all this help. We replied, yes, ma'am, and walked out of the office. The next day, the maintenance department replaced all of the faucets in the whole entire dorm, and nobody ever knew that we did it.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath on about Saturday night. Rubbed up, just relaxing in the tub, thinking everything was alright.
Where are the faucets, Carol?
Excuse me?
Where are the faucets now?
That year, Connie and I traveled to, Connie started teaching in Byram in 1970. That year, she and I traveled to New Hampshire for my sister's wedding. And the next day, we went up a cable car on top of Cannon Mountain. And while we were walking around on the top trails, Connie steps off the packed snow and sinks through the snow. And there's one thing that caught her, and that was the 20-foot pine tree that Connie is sitting on the top edge of.
Take that, take that, take that.
Oh, remember that one? Oh. Thank heaven for the tree, or Connie might not be around. That was a pretty deep snowbank.